What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Cangtoys Axeetle, or their version of a stylized Insecticon. This was sent to me by Augie G. Thanks for allowing me to take a look at your copy. He's actually sending me all of them, so we will get to look at the full trio here eventually. And this guy actually took me by surprise. I was expecting, I don't know what I was expecting. I guess, Cangtoys is always kind of a burden for reviewing. It's just a lot of moving, difficult joints and transformations, pretty complex, but this one is very enjoyable. It does look really cool. He's got this golden crown. He almost looks like, Starstream crown, but slightly different face with red eyes, beautiful chest. We'll see this in the bug mode. It becomes the bug mode face, but I love the way that looks. It's very cool. Nice tampo details all throughout. Silver accents, gunmetal accents here on the knees, on the feet. Sorry about that. Here's the back. Got some gold, silver, gunmetal. Really nice details all throughout. He does have these, shields or, armor that eventually becomes his wings. You can remove them if you prefer. So if you want this look, you can have it. It's part of him. You could transform it with that on there. I don't recommend it because it's pretty hard to get all the things in the direction you need it to go. But you could, in theory, do a perfect transformation. Let's go over the articulation. Head is on a ball joint, gets up to there, down to there. You get side to side and it rotates around. And I really do like the head sculpt. For these shoulder bits, you can articulate them out this far. You can rotate on that hinge. You get up to there. And then it rotates on this ball joint as well. Sometimes pops off this ball joint. That's one thing that sometimes is an issue. But you can pretty much get it out of the way and wherever you want it. Shoulder pad itself does move up and down. The arm, if you get this out of the way, can go up to there. Rotation at the bicep. Double jointed elbow, full bend on a die cast hinge for the elbow. For the hands, you have a rotation. You have a single pin for the fingers. Not the best fingers. It's more like the kind of fingers you get for carbots, right? It's just very little articulation on that, which is unusual for Cangtoys. Coming down to the waist, you have a waist rotation. It gets a little hung up, so you have to come back here. If you lift this up, then you can rotate it. It does rotate all the way around. But this backpack piece does collide a little bit. There are hip skirts back here, so you can get these up and out of the way. And then on the front, you've got these. Those are both on ball joints. The legs will kick up to there. It is a squeaky joint, but it's not overly tight, meaning like it's not hard to move it. Out to the side, nice tolerance on that. That works. Rotation at the thigh to cut joint. You have a double jointed knee. Gets you almost the full bend, depending on how you bend it. There is the, insect feet in here. So if you were to get that out, you could probably get more, but, that's cheating, in my opinion. Let's get this back down. And then on the feet, you have ankle tilts. And actually, the toe can move independently because it's on its own ball joint. You can tilt this way, can go forward and backward. And the toe itself can go up and down and tilt separately. As far as accessories, we get the little axe, which becomes the, beetle horn. But it is painted beautifully, silver, purple, and gunmetal. This will fit in the hand. And actually, you don't really need to open up the fingers because it just slides in there. But pretty good looking axe, I would say. If you want to store it, you can come to the back here. It's not the best storage, I would say, but you can put this right here. and it can kind of hang off the back if you want. That's where it's going to go in the bug mode. But I just wanted to show you can store it if you want. For size comparison, there it is next to the Magic Square version of Optimus Prime, and comes up to about a larger size Carbot, up to the bottom of his chest. So fits in nicely with a Masterpiece scale as far as an Insecticon would go. All right, here's another comparison with the Fans Toys version of Bombshell, and that's kind of who I imagine this to be, restylized Bombshell. But yeah, definitely bigger than the modern Masterpiece scale Insecticons that we've gotten from different companies. So they are sort of a bigger set here. All right, now let's get Axeetle transformed into insect mode. We'll start with the upper body here. Go ahead and remove these. Like I mentioned earlier, you can transform it with these on here, but it's much easier if you take it off. Just gives you some room. And like I mentioned, that ball joint likes to pop off. But for now, just set those aside, and we'll take care of that in a little bit. All right, so we're going to start with this backpack. Come to here. You can open this up. You can accordion this back. It's just these two clips are going into slots on the backpack. Once you lift that up, we can rotate the head around so it faces backwards. Then we're going to lift up on this hinge. We're going to bring this all the way around to this side. And we can unplug the arms from here, rotate those out. Take care of the arms in a second. I really just want you to see this. So bring this down. It's going to clip into place right here on the front. So it locks in place. This ends up being the front of the bug. All right, but now we'll take care of this. So for this, we're going to rotate this up. We're going to rotate this back. So this ends up in here. We'll rotate the arm, rotate the hand 180, and we can collapse down the arm so it sits inwards like this. And that's one arm done. So same thing on this one. I think it's actually easier if you start by rotating the arm. So rotate the arm 180, rotate the hand 180, rotate this around, rotate this out, rotate this back. So it sits like this. And you end up with the elbows on the outside, right? These elbow pads. And let's see. I have this not all the way. Okay. Now that you have these back, you're going to take this. This will just collapse down. The arms will sit in there for now, but that's how it's going to look. So just leave this open. We're going to end up collapsing this later, but leave that open for now. And now we'll take care of these legs. So bring this out and rotate it. Bring this out, rotate it. Bring these out. This will rotate up and just sit like this on the outside. We're just kind of getting some stuff out of the way right now. All right, so leave those up like that. Then we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees. Oh, we want this out of the way. Rotate the waist 180 degrees. Rotate the legs 180 degrees. And now we can take care of the legs. So come to the back, which is now on the front, right? The crotch is facing this way, but the back of the legs are facing forward. Rotate this out. We'll accordion the knee down. Collapses in like that. On the inside, you can see there's a little clip right here, which is going to clip into the inside of the thigh. This foot will fold down and clip into there. We'll rotate the toe around and bring that back down. It sits on the inside of the knee here. And this, you're just going to leave it right there. All right, this should be down, this should be down. This is another thing I was mentioning is the ball joints. Sometimes they pop off but you just want these out of the way and facing down. All right, same thing on this side. I'll just do it quickly. Open this up, accordion down the double hinge, plug it into the inside of the thigh, flip the foot up, rotate this around, bring this down, and this will just sit back. And now we're ready to bring this down together. Just make sure it's fitting around this. So you might have to adjust the arms a little bit to get it on the outside of this. But basically, these two pegs on this panel are going into these two slots on the legs. So that's what you're trying to line up. So, and here, we're going to rotate this out just a bit. That gives room for this to collapse down. Don't forget to do that. So bring this down and line up those two pegs and tab it in. You know, it does tab in pretty securely onto there. Right? So we're getting pretty close. We're going to take the wings and reattach those. So just plug those right into here. I think they're universal. It doesn't matter which one goes into which. So there's no left and right. All right, same on this one. Just plug that in. And then you're going to fold out these legs. So fold out the toes, and you want it so that it's going to end up flat on the ground, but you can adjust it after you fold them all out. And on the back, just fold it straight back. This will end up sitting backwards like this. And go ahead and set it down. And the finishing touch, will take this, and you can put this side down. I don't know if it matters, but plug that into the forehead there. All right, there's Axeetle in insect mode, and I think it looks pretty cool. It's got the big horn on the front. Pretty menacing face here, which was the chest before. Red eyes. That looks really good. It doesn't open. Here's the back. Does look like a bug. You know, it cleans up into a bug-looking thing. There is good articulation. The wings are on a ball joint, so they can bend forward and backward on that ball joint. You can rotate it in and out. You can get it kind of collapsed into like a shell or like a cover, or you can have them bent outwards. There is a hinge that allows it to go upwards, so it can kind of look like it's flying. For the legs, the rear legs are on a ball joint, goes up and down, and then hinges out here at the toe. For a size comparison, there it is next to the MP10 Optimus Prime. You can see this is a pretty big bug. And then just for another comparison, here it is with the Fans Toys version of Bombshell, who I think of when I see this, but much bigger bug mode here. You know, if you get the wings down, maybe make it a little smaller, but still, you know, quite a bit bigger. So final recommendations on the Cangtoys Axeetle. This is a pretty fun figure. I'm going to give this a 4 to 5. I'll recommend it. Overall, I like the look of the robot mode. Articulation is pretty well done. Accessories are fine. You just get the one, but the shields are kind of configurable quite a bit, so you can change the look of him or take it off if you want to. The insect mode also looks pretty cool. It's not for me personally. I think it's too stylized, but it is a fun looking, you know, evil looking figure, which I think makes sense for an Insecticon. So if you like Cangtoys, I think you'll really enjoy this. His transformation is pretty fun and intuitive. The articulation is pretty well done. And overall, it just kind of fits with the Cangtoys stuff. So that kind of stylized thing, I think you'll be happy with it. Now, we do have 2 more to go, so I guess I don't want to speak too soon, but I do think it's a good start to the set. That's it for today. Thanks for watching, and thanks to Augie G. We'll see you next time.
TM Reviews. What's up, YouTube fans?